at you with another episode from ChooseYourRelationships.com off of Love Can't Wait, which can be found on Amazon.com. You know, if I look back on my life, I'm going to say the last 25 years. And if I had to do it over again, there's one correction I would have made. And I would focus more on money. If I could go back when I was, say, 17 years old, I would focus, money would be my main focus. Now, I know some people would say, well, how come you can't focus on love? Well, the only problem I have with that way of thinking is, see, today, the love that I came to know, or maybe that you came to know, if you're around my age, it doesn't really exist anymore. See, it's like, when it comes to people, just in general, I take the word love out of the equation completely. I do this. Either you like me, you care about me, or you don't. Now, if you walk up to 100 people and you ask them, do you like me or care about me, or you don't, yes or no, they'll be able to give you an answer. But if you walk up to the average person and you say, hey, do you love me, yes or no, they're going to have to think about that. You know, a lot of them won't respond. A lot of them will be passive, you know, and it gets complicated. So what I've done, I've simplified everything. Either you like me, you care about me, or you don't. And see, like I said, the love that we came to know about, at least I came to know about, doesn't really exist. The love today, which you see, is a very shallow, watered down. People throw the word love around like it's a pair of panties, or just something that sounds good, or, you know, whichever the case is. It's just something that could end next week. You know, people got their own version of love. And that's what makes it complicated. Because people see it the way they see it. It means something different to everybody. And here's the deal. This only happens really in America and in any westernized country. This doesn't happen in some of these countries. Love doesn't, they don't even mention that word. It doesn't really exist in most languages. It doesn't really exist in society. You know, if you go to places like Japan, places like anywhere on the continent of Asia, or even in a lot around the world, when I travel, I never hear people talk about love. I hear them talk about family. I hear them talk about, you know, wealth, money, education, health. But the word love doesn't really come up. So if you want to chase anything, chase the money, not love. Because we live in a capitalistic society. And see, what you have to understand is you're going to need money living in America once you get stopped by that crazy cop that's going to give you $150, $200, $300 ticket, depending on what state you live in. And, you know, if you get a ticket, in most cases, depending on who you are and your age and insurance company you with, So a lot of times you're just better off taking that $200 and giving it to an attorney to take care of that ticket. Because if you just pay the ticket off, your insurance still gonna go up. And I didn't notice in the beginning when I started getting a lot of tickets. I just kept going down to the courthouse or just putting it in the mail or whatever and paying it off. But when it was time for my new policy, man, that shit went up. Like, my insurance went up $500, $1,000. You know what I'm saying? So instead of paying $110 a month, they want me to pay over $200 a month. So now I gotta look for new insurance. I'm shopping around for a lower deal, you know, or a better deal. You know, so it takes money to pay for that stuff. And then somewhere there's some 20-year-old, a 19-year-old, a 20-year-old that just got, you know, a girl just had his baby, and he got a retail job, or he working at a restaurant, and that money that he worked for is not enough to take care of a baby, you know. And plus, the daughter of the mom is whispering in the daughter's ear saying, hey, if he don't do right, put him on child support. If he ain't listening, put him on child support. And the daughter might not even thought about putting the dude on child support. But you know what? She's going to put him on child support anyway, because that's her mama. And mama knows best. And meanwhile, my man, he ain't making that much money from his job. So all the money that he's making, the majority of that money is going to go for child support. And he's not going to be able to take care of himself because his money ain't right. So this is why I say you got to get your money right. And this is why I say if I had to do it all over again, I would have started early. I would have started when I was 17. But instead, I started trying to get my money right when I was 32. That's very late. The earlier, the better. You know, the old saying goes, it's better to stay ready than get ready. Because there's been times in my life where things have come up, things have happened, and I didn't have the money to do it, to pay it off. Because most of my problems could have been solved by just paying the money. You know? Really. So I had to hustle, borrow money, pay people back, you know, sell some shit, because I didn't have the money. Because money wasn't my focus. My focus was just having a good time, and I got caught up in my feelings, how I felt about certain women and certain situations. And I learned over the years is that you can't make all of your decisions based on how you feel. You know, so when I was 32, I made a decision. My focus is going to be making as much money as possible. So everything that I buy, everything that I wear, everything that I purchase, as far as education, as far as every place that I visit, it's going to, it has to benefit me in some type of way in collecting more money. And that's my focus. If I go on a vacation, I'm not only going on a vacation. I'm going on a vacation in that place, that country, that city, that town, because eventually there's going to be some payoff, and there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people will shame you and try to make it seem like, oh, you're all about the money. No, I'm not all about the money, but money's very important. And a lot of people that come over here from other countries, they understand this. But even some of them get sucked in to this fantasy, that somehow, it's all about feeling good. We live in a feel-good society where everything has to feel good and everything has to look a certain type of way, and everything has to be politically correct. There's certain things you don't talk about. You don't talk about politics, religion. You don't talk about money. You don't talk about how much you get paid on your job. You don't talk certain things you just don't talk about in society. And people come over here and they get caught up in that nonsense as well. And we get programmed over here, especially if you born and raised here in the United States, that people with money, with a lot of money, like rich people, are bad. A penny earned is, all these phrases that don't really mean anything. It's not practical. It's not even real in most cases. And that brainwashes people. It kind of, people don't even try to do certain things. That's how powerful the brainwashing is. And I think I kind of got lucky because I didn't really grow up like that. See, my parents never told me that I couldn't do it. They never told me that I couldn't do anything. If it was something positive and they could see where I was coming from, they supported me. They let me do it, regardless of what it was, regardless if they didn't necessarily understand what I was trying to do. But as long as they could see the vision, they always supported me. They never said, hey, y'all, you can't do this because your brother did this or your sister did that. No, not at all, But it just is what it is. And if you have money, see, the money gives you options, gives you choices, and a lot of times, a lot of guys will say, well, if I have the money, she ain't going nowhere. I don't have to worry about her leaving. No, that's not true. No. Money only go but so far. Money's only a tool. Now, here's the deal, the real deal. You might have your money right, but a woman still might leave you. But on the other side of it, if you don't have your money right, you shouldn't be surprised if a woman leaves. So it's better to have than not to have. That's just my opinion. It's better to have than not to have. But just because you got money, that doesn't mean that a woman's not going to leave you. No one, who said that all relationships should last forever? Some relationships shouldn't have never gotten started. Some of these people that some of y'all end up with, y'all should have never been with them in the first place. So if you get 10 to 15 years out of being in a relationship with some of these silly acting women out here, you should consider that a great accomplishment. Really. So just because you might get your money right, that don't mean that a woman's gonna stay with you forever. No, no, no. The idea of getting your money right is to solve problems and try to live and have the best experience you can have in your life and pass it down to your kids so they can have a better life than you, so they won't have to go through the chaos like you. Because if you don't have your money right, you can't even escape the chaos. You're gonna find yourself doing all kinds of BS that you don't want to do. You're gonna find yourself having to move places you don't want to move to, and then you might find yourself having to depend on certain people you don't necessarily want to depend on. I mean, your friends and your family, they'll look out for you to a certain extent, but even after a while, especially if you got one of your buddies that's married, the wife don't want you around. Or if you got a sister and she's married, the husband, he might tolerate you for a while, but you're gonna wear that out. So you don't want to be dependent on anyone for a long period of time. I mean, it's good if people look out for you, support you, to do you a favor or whatever, but look, it's on you. No one really cares if you don't have your money right or not. It's really on you. And the best part about it is you don't have to go at it alone. This is why I started another channel, because when I got started on my journey, going through all these trials and tribulations and going through the chaos, I had to figure out all this stuff out on my own, the majority of it. I didn't really have no help. I didn't really have nobody around me, because I was the breadwinner out of all my friends at the time. I was away from my family. They didn't really know what was going on. So all the people that I was hanging around, when they needed money, they used to come to me. So I had to figure out how to make money, basically, you know. So I started a new channel called Day Job Bailout Plan, where I talk about my experiences and how to get your money right. And I talk about all the trials and tribulations and mistakes I made. And you don't have to make the mistakes I made. You don't have to go at it alone. I mean, you can cut the learning curve in half. So the name of the channel is Day Job Bailout. I'll click the link below. So if you got any questions, click the link below and send me your questions. Subscribe to my channel. Share this message with your friend, anybody that you think cares. So until next time, I'm out. Peace.